Hello and welcome to Comic Book Spectrum, the show that saves you money by telling you what's worth buying and what isn't. If you're here with us live, we're glad you're sharing your Thursday night with us, and if you're watching us on the replay, we appreciate you taking the time to check us out. And either way, please type your comments and questions in the comments section. That's where they belong. And let's put the fun back in funny books. We'll be back in a minute.
Seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
And welcome to the Thursday, November 3rd, 2022 edition of Comic Book Spectrum. Be sure to set your clocks back this weekend and check your smoke alarms. But as always, we've got a surprise for you later on in the show and pretty quickly. But first of all, we want to say thank you to pardon me, our Patreon subscribers who help keep the rising tide moving forward. And if you want to find out what we give you in return for your financial support every month, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris, and the new chapter of Volcana 2 will be dropping this week, I predict. And also, we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
If you want to see some of that great art on your publication, go to the Facebook page for Plasma Fire Graphics and go to plasmafiregraphics.com and find out all about their indie creator-friendly pricing. You'll be glad you did. Anyway, that's Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And we are also brought to you by Rising Tide Publications, who's going to have some books out soon. You will be thrilled, I promise. And speaking of being thrilled, we got a special surprise for tonight, and we're going to bring him out first, because we never know how long he's going to be here. And somebody that we know you love him, you can't get enough of him, and it's the one, the only Mr. Brian Rodman. Brian, good evening.
I thought you guys were just going to bring up Eric. I didn't know. That was good.
I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. Anyway, but no, we brought back Brian Rodman.
How dare you?
We're glad to have him here. Greta isn't real thrilled, but she doesn't know him like I do. You know what I mean? Yeah, really. She's just a kid. What does she know? And Joe is in the background going, "Oh dear God!" Now we defend the whole UN. Anyway, Brian, it's good to have you back.
Hey, it's good to be back, man. I'm having a good asthma day, and just a quick health update. Things are going well in the right direction, and
Cool.
hopefully we continue that way. So I'm live from my couch this time.
Emphasis on live. I like that part.
Yes, I'm alive. And
Yeah.
This is my corner of destruction here, on my couch in my living room, because that's pretty much where I'm parked now every day.
There we go. Just change the sheets under you and you're fine, right?
Exactly. Yeah, get my bedpan out. There we go.
You never know. Brian could have one of those moments. Mark your calendars. Get your bingo cards ready.
Yes. A Rodman Dookie instead of a hail pail.
There we go. See? All right. Yeah. The marketing arm will be in touch with you soon, Brian. So,
Indeed.
And so now let's bring out everyone else, and that means we're going to bring in Jody McFee, Eric Hawkins. We're going to move people around here, and Clyde Hall. How you guys doing?
Great.
That's great. Oh.
Have a wait.
Wow. All right.
Have a wait.
And Clyde's going to wait a minute and see if...
I haven't heard Clyde speak the entire time he's been on here. Are you okay, Clyde?
With this group, how can he get a word in edgewise? Say something, Clyde.
Something, Clyde.
Thank you. All right. Boy, vaudeville isn't dead. That's just how it smells, friends.
It's the formaldehyde. That's what keeps him alive.
It is.
That's
it is. I switched from gin to that. So anyway, yeah, good stuff there, I'm sure. But anyway, let's go around the room, and please, we'll start with Brian. We'll go clockwise, and introduce yourself and tell everybody why you are so awesome.
Hello. Well, I don't know why I'm awesome, but I make comic books such as the Nebulizer, which, cool announcement for those of you who are waiting, I've been able to start drawing some again. Which is awesome.
Yay.
And I've got another page done in the Nebulizer 2, and we are looking to release by the end of the year now. So we're good
Excellent.
on that front, which is great. Also, I am the author and illustrator of Memoirs of an Angel, a dark fantasy series about, it's like Lord of the Rings meets The Exorcist, if you haven't heard me say that 4,000 times. And I'm also a contributing writer and illustrator with Stormgate Press. We just released issue 4 of of Pulp Reality, and my character Midnight Mason, who is loosely tied to Memoirs of an Angel, is being introduced, and I'm very excited about it. And you should go to Amazon right now and buy it, because a lot of creators, including a few in this on this program, did a whole lot of hard work, and I can't wait to read all the stories. So, yep, that's it for me.
There we go. Very good.
Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. And of course, he got the Glenn Fleming treatment. Good editing. So,
Yeah,
if I say so myself,
yes, Brian did edit. Brian helped bring the Midnight Mason to life.
we did our part.
Yes.
We did our part. And now here he is, the one, the only, the pro slayer himself, Mr. Eric S. Hawkins.
Hey,
Yay!
I'm Eric S. Hawkins, the independent comic creator, best known for the Zombie World of Oz. Oh, there it is.
We got to give him a pass because
Nature
he's now
boy.
crowdfunding Zombie for Adventures. So we got to give him a pass on that.
Yes.
And it's down to 66 hours, I think. 60,
Ooh.
maybe 65. Refresh, 65 hours to go.
And where do you stand on your stretch goals?
I am $137 away from the second stretch goal.
Beautiful, beautiful. Eric, I forgot to ask you before the show. Yeah, put in the link, and
Well, I
we'll.
will, but which is it involves this
yeah.
right here
Oh, hubba hubba.
Yeah.
on a playing card, a trading card.
I was
Nice.
his model, just so you know.
Yes, yeah. That's why the boobs are so big.
Yep. Don't visualize that. You'll burn your corneas out.
And actually, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but
Yeah, right above your head.
the Dorothy
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, Dorothy. Yeah, I thought
that's
so.
never
Yeah.
been seen anywhere. I just drew that this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and this, you can see the sketches on the back, but I won't show you the front because that was only for my Patreon people to see. It was the new designs of one of my characters that will show up in issue 5. It's traditional pencils and inks.
Ooh.
Nice.
When's issue 5 coming out?
April.
April. All right.
April.
April.
I keep wanting to say May.
It may
but
come out in April.
Yeah, it's gonna be April. Do or Die is gonna be April. But I noticed in the comments, my granddaughter Nora's favorite person is back on the show, Brian Rodman. And
Nora.
shout out to Nora and Fiona. Fiona won an art contest at school today, and she's been trying to show the
Oh, fantastic! Well done, well done. Beautiful.
That's it.
Okay, that's pretty good there. And now let's mop on over to Joe D. McFee. Joe, take it away.
Oh, you didn't give me anything to take away, to put away. But no, being that I am who I am,
His
I am Joe
dignity.
D. I am the president of Secret Studios, creator of books such as Prime Time Saturday Night, AWF, and the Amazonia series, which we still have copies of issue number 7 left. Just hit us up on our website, which is agencystudios.com. You can always buy all our comics there. While I was sitting here waiting, I'm still working on today's little bit of a sketch here. If I can hold it properly, it is, in that non-photogenic blue and purple so far. I just haven't done the actual pencils and everything as of yet. And if you were in the in crowd here, you also would have seen actual pages from the upcoming Primetime Saturday Night number 4. Ooh. I haven't released samples to the public as of yet because of the simple fact that they're only for certain people's eyes only up until this point, because 1, I don't have a Patreon as of yet, and 2, I haven't sent it out to my mailing list as of yet because they have more priority than the general public.
Understood.
And that's pretty much me. Now we're about to find out the true awesomeness of the gold standard, which is Clyde Hall.
Hi. Well, I'm Clyde Hall, and I write. Okay, I'm not right, because they said ever since I was a kid, that boy ain't right. But
but he does.
But I do write. And I'm part of an uber cool strata of creatives, namely the writers and the artists here and all over the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Here, I'm an independent author and comic book reviewer for Comic Book Spectrum, but I also do online comic reviews at doomrocket.com and at The Beat. I'm also a contributing writer for Stormgate Press, where editor and author Charles F. Milhouse has just released, as Brian Rodman told you, Pulp Reality Volume 4. Volumes 1, 2, and 3 have won Pulp Factory Awards over the last 2 years, and now this 4th offering is available just in time for the holidays. Check out Stormgate's fiction section on Amazon and by going directly to the source, www.stormgatepress.com. Brian K. Morris is another author who has won Pulp Factory Awards and has had his work published in volumes of Pulp Reality. He's also a great editor and the Ramrod Review Wrangler here at Comic Book Spectrum, so now it's time for him to get his doggies moving with a hearty head 'em up and move 'em out on Comic Book Spectrum.
And yippee-i-o-tie-yay, never mind. Sorry, I was in another mode there. I started Westerns, but I segued. Anyway, I'm Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, and award-winning one at that. YouTube fame or Facebook famous YouTuber and former mortician's assistant. And I write books. I edit books. I do all kinds of stuff. Go to Amazon.com and sample my wares, if you will. Quick shout out to everyone, Joe Dog McKeel, and everyone involved in HelloCon last week. Thank you for hosting me and Cookie. We had a spectacular time. Cannot wait till next year. And we're glad to be here. So let's get me out of here. There we go. Yay! He remembered how to do this stuff. Yeah, yes.
I just wanted to say, right now, it's the week in between Halloween and what some people would then call just Christmas time instead of Thanksgiving. So right now is a great time to buy Santa Stein because it's got a flavor of both. And trust me, it's hilarious.
Thank you.
I love it. And if you like Nightmare Before Christmas, that kind of feel, you're going to love it. So
there we go. Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll show my appreciation after the show. Anyway, we've got comments. I can imagine we're going to get more after that. And Donna, Carlene, first in the door. Mwah, good to see you. Takes her seat and lights her cigar. I'm ready. Missed this last week. Missed so much last week. I missed last week too. So don't feel bad.
Last week.
Yeah, I barely remember dinner. But no, I was in Dalton, Georgia, accepting Southern hospitality. Pardon me. And my voice still hasn't recovered. But I've discovered a new joy, McKay's. it's kind of like half-price books, where you can trade in like your old books and toys and stuff and music and get more. Imagine a 2-story warehouse type. Yeah. Yeah.
Where is this?
They have them all over the South. There's one in Chattanooga. There's one in where did we go through? Not Lexington, but another city to the north there. But there's like 4 or 5 of them throughout the South. They're really nice, I guess.
Books near me.
Yeah.
Knoxville.
Seriously. Yeah, Knoxville was the other one we saw from the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but it was a place of magic, and there's not many places I'd walk for an hour on concrete with my knees.
Was it Joseph Beth? Is another really good bookstore. I don't know if you've ever been there or not.
I've not
there's
been
one
there.
in,
I need to check
there's
that
one
out.
in Lexington, and it is wonderful. It's a lot. It's got I think it's 2 or 3 levels.
Oh.
It's not used books. It's fancy dancy new ones, but it is a lot of fun. It's a beautiful bookstore too.
I'll check that out because I've been doing a lot of business in Lexington lately and getting lost each time I go through there.
You and your prostitution business, I know.
I know, yeah. It's, we got to keep the hands strong. You know what I'm saying?
You got to.
Yeah. So anyway, hi Eric. Anyway, hello Carl Witzman, and we have a surprise when we come on.
Oh,
Surprise! And Carl Witzman said, "Did I ever mention how much I hate surprises?" Well, this is a good one though. This is a quality one. Hope we get more like it.
I see how you really care about me, Carl. I see how that.
I know. He'll come around. And Jennifer Hawkins says, hello all. Mwah. Hello, Jennifer. I hope you're doing well. And Lissy is here. Mwah. Hi, everyone. Hi to you, Lissy. Glad you're here. Everyone's saying hi. And waits precariously to put his like on video after making sure that BKM has electricity, etc., etc. Yeah, we've been having a series of mishaps. Like my internet went out during the show a few weeks ago. Then we didn't have power 2 weeks ago. And then I'm out of town 2 weeks ago. So, hi, I'm Brian Morris, the former host of this show. So, anyway, and puts his like back in his pocket. Don't make us go in there and get it, Carl. You know what I'm saying? I'll stick my watchdog on you. Anyway, and
don't worry, I bite.
Oh, that'll save you $20 downtown Danville, I'm telling you. And I hear Eric laughing in the other room. Come on, guys, says Jennifer. Yeah, you see, Jennifer, you have a chance to hear the pre-show, the side that no one gets to hear but you.
Well, just my side of it.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, then that's how she knows we're funny. Anyway,
Jordan in there, he's all crazy talking to himself.
Jennifer, we haven't had a show in years. We've never been on the air. I don't know what is his problem.
Eric's in his office. Definitely comic book spectrum time.
Oh yeah, sure. Anyway, and Ted Davies Arsby, good evening, superheroes. Ted, it was good to sit beside you at HalloCon last weekend. Thank you for my Oracle. I forgot to bring it up here. It's still in my living room being drooled around. But anyway, Ted was the guest of honor down there, and hope you had as good a time as I did. And I had
like
a lot.
sash and tails and all that stuff.
Yeah, we had to wear tuxedos and everything because this is the South. And I'm surprised they made us wear shoes, but no, I love the South. I really do love it down there, and we got to eat at a
there
show.
goes half the audience. Bye.
Yeah, bye guys. But no, we got to eat at a Shoney's. I haven't been to one in ages. And
Shoney's is good.
Yeah, I love Shoney's, and the further south you go, the better they get.
Breakfast or dinner?
It was lunch. Yeah.
Do they still have the breakfast buffet out with the fried bologna on it?
Oh, I think they might. They might.
That's good stuff.
It is. I love their breakfast. That.
And the strawberry pies to die for.
Oh God, yeah. We almost got one, but we were just so stuffed after going through the line the first time that if we wanted to stuff it anywhere, it'd have to be our pockets, and that's not conducive.
Where you can always stuff it, Brian.
I've been told more than once, usually from Eric. So anyway, and get reviews going. Yes, sir. 3 bags full, or as Nita Landing would salute me. So anyway, and oops, Carl. And what'd you do on Carl that you had to say oops, Ted? thought you were. Never mind. Anyway, I am sitting here smoking up all the cigars I had saved for us together. Oh, there we go. And Teresa Dunn, mwah, good evening to you. Hope you are having a splendid evening. The Queen of Keokuk is here. And same here, Carl. And everyone's saying hello to Teresa. And it's Brian Rodman. No, that was Teresa Dunn. Brian has a beard.
I'm actually just Teresa in disguise. That's all.
Oh, okay, that's it. That explains. Oh, never mind. Anyway, and everyone's so happy to see you. They are rejoicing. Yay! Yay! And hey, Brian. And Nora says, hi, Brian.
Hello, Nora.
And is Clyde growing his beard out again?
Oh, I darkened it for cosplay over the Halloween season, so it's been there, but now you can really see it. So
That's why I color mine
Clyde?
too, Clyde, for cosplaying.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's I hadn't shaved in 3 days the last time I did this show. The problem is it comes out this color. So you can't see it on here. I'm going to have to get a full beard before you actually can see anything. And then she went, oh, hi, everyone else. We understand. We understand. And everyone said, and grats to Fiona. Definitely, Fiona, you deserve another round of applause. You've done good. And also, if you want Eric's great new comic book, a spin-off from the Zombieful World of Oz, also superbly edited.
Will be when I letter it, yes.
That's true. I'm waiting for that. But anyway, do check that out. It's going to be a fun project. The art is drop dead gorgeous.
Hey, we've already got over 100 backers.
Oh, cool. So
good.
your next
It's
goal
good.
is financial, is it then?
Financial, yeah. We're at 104 backers, and there was stretch goals at 2,000, 3,000, 4,000.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the poker chip was going to be at 4,000. I'm not going to hit that, but I might hit the 3K mark.
Hey, let's prove him wrong. Let's prove Eric wrong. I want to hit 4,000 before the end of the evening.
And at 5,000, I had 100 pages for free.
Okay, 5,000 then. And it's already down to
Right
65. And let's see, we're at 20. Let's see. Oh, it's refreshing here. 2863.
I'll be tempted to actually draw something for that book.
Oh, you heard it here, people. You heard it here. So that's what, 737, 100. Am I right? $137 left
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
to get to the next goal. You can tell I went into journalism because there was no math requirement.
I haven't had to count back money in years, so I'm not really sure when I look at it.
Yeah, same here. I had to go through my retail.
I tried to do it in my
cash
hand.
yeah. So, and I did in my head, which is why I asked for verification. But anyway, please let's get him a little closer to that goal before the end of the show. Okay, please check out that page. I will understand if you ignore us for but a minute. So anyway,
And at 10,000,
yes,
Eric will give you a lap dance.
that's true. Actually,
I'll do that now if you just ask.
Let's see. Let me see what I've got here. Let's see. We'll talk later, Eric. Anyway, and Joe Dog McKeel, the head honcho of HalloCon. Joe, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, my friend, and hope the cleanup went well. But folks, be sure to tune in every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. on Saturday to Stupid O'Clock. It's great after-hours conversation, highly geeky, a little bit of science thrown in, but always fun. And check it out. And did Joe D pass out on us?
Yes.
No.
He's hiding his
No
head
longer
in
with us.
shame is what it is.
No, I showed you guys. I'm in the middle of sketching stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's coming along.
Joe, I think the top of your head is beautiful. Don't listen to them.
That's right. No, we just want to rub it all night long.
Hey, now.
No, never mind. I'm not going to stop there. And Lizzie says, thanks, Donna. She's pretty excited about it. She should be. That's quite an accomplishment. And everybody saying hello to Joe Dog. And yeah, often poor Joe D passes out during the show when the others would get wound up. Well, he's not alone. I've been known to do that too. And I imagine she is Lizzie, and she deserves it. Indeed. I'm
definitely.
just enjoy the sensation, hon. You earned it. And yes, the McKays are in Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Nashville. So probably Nashville will be the closest to you, Brian. I would,
Google-
or no,
Google-
it wouldn't be. It'd be.
Google told me it was Knoxville.
And then go
Okay.
get you some Zaxby's afterwards.
I
Ooh, yeah.
can't. I have diabetes now.
Well, I don't have enough of it, so I'm going.
Peel the breading off the chicken. Don't eat the toast or the fries.
Right, just go to Zaxby's and sit there and
No,
sadness.
you can't have the slaw really
You
either.
know,
Maybe a
No, I can't have anything at Zaxby's because Zaxby's, I have one right down the road from our house, and I got it a lot, which is probably why I have diabetes. And I'm so sad now because I can't have it anymore. And I'm like, oh no, that's awful.
Brian, you
But
have
you know what? Who needs toes anymore anyway? So that's
exactly right.
Yeah.
They're overrated. Just get rid of all of them. That way
Right.
you'll walk evenly. Okay, but no. But you see, the
Those are
thing
for
is,
balance,
you can.
Brian.
I'm here to help. But no, you can watch us eat.
Oh, that's nice. That'll
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah, let's all
But
have.
watching us eat
I'll
doesn't
eat my-
taste great.
But I did send Brian a picture earlier of a
I'll
big
eat
old
my-
sausage.
Yeah, he did. He's a
and a plate of
jerk.
fries.
Yeah. He's like, look what I ate. This was delicious. I was like, mother.
And this is how we treat our friends here on Comic Book Spectrum. So anyway, and ask Donna, I don't even like good surprises.
Yeah, there were vegetables on the luscious, amazing hot dog that you had.
Polish sausage.
Oh, sausage. Sorry.
He's very proud of the sausage.
Yeah.
Anyway. And Joe Dog McGill
give
says you
them
don't like some.
context because you don't want to get people started on the wrong thing.
Sure
Oh.
we do.
Not on this. Oh, never on this show.
Yeah.
Joe, have you been paying attention the last 52 weeks? And Joe Dog McGill says you don't like surprises, then be glad you didn't show. You won a ticket to the guest dinner. That's true. This is funny. There is a guest dinner on Saturday night at HalloCon. And we're only saying this to rub it in. And a random drawing supervised by the Skunk Rocker himself, so you know it's legit. I shouldn't say we, but Skunk at random drew a number that corresponded to our badge number. And the lucky person, we see there's like a really big dinner on Saturday night, home cooked stuff, all right? Southern home cooking.
That
And-
sounds awesome.
Oh my God, I may have to pause because my mouth's watering at the thought of it. But there's like beautiful dinner for every attendee, but the guest stars, the guests of honor and all, get a little kicked up dinner. You know, and just a little bit. You know, we had ribs. You know, the type that, you know, it's 50-50 whether they're going to leave the plate when you pick up the bone.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, don't need sauce.
What are you doing to me? Gosh.
This will be Brian's
eat
last
pork?
episode. I know! Yeah, if your diet
Yeah,
can
I just-
survive Comic Book Spectrum, by God, you're going to be great. But no,
Yeah, so now the game has changed. Now it's not make him laugh till he passes out from an asthma attack. Now it's just torture him with describing delicious food.
Till his feet fall off.
oh dear Lord. Anyway, but no,
Hey,
we.
at least 2 others besides yourself are diabetic on
That
this
is
show.
true.
That's
We
true.
can all share in that pain.
It's true, and some days I'm on the edge. So, well, I'm on the edge anyway. But yeah, but for all these comments I'm making, God will get me and make me have to stock up on insulin. But anyway, the number was drawn and Carl won. And then of course, then we had to redraw because we knew Carl wasn't there because Donna couldn't be there. And we hope you're feeling better, Donna. But anyway, they had another drawing. Carl won that one too.
Yeah.
So.
It was destined.
Yeah, so lucky dog. But that's okay. The people ate your lunch for you, so it was good. I hear that I won twice. What a time to miss out. and Joe Dog's like, yep. And I would have made Donna go in my place. And Donna knows because she's had the food there. And C. Michael Lanning. Hey, Brian, I meant the other one. I know I don't exist. Anyway, but check out C. Michael Lanning's great shows on Tuesday nights on the Indie Comics Network. Great stuff.
Dispatches from the box.
Dispatches from the Box. I couldn't remember the whole title. I'm glad you did. And everyone's saying, hello there, C. And everyone's saying hello back. And Carl, how long does it take to drive to Eric's? It'd be about 3 hours, I think. I think it'd be about 3 hours to Eric's place. And Lissy says, I want that playing card, people. Get Dad to 3,000. Daughter privileges. Don't get me locked stretch goals.
It looks pretty cool. I shared it with the Kickstarter as an update.
Yeah,
So.
it looks awesome.
There you go. Have pity on poor Lissy. Even having half his DNA is no gateway to getting the perks that come from the Kickstarter campaign.
Yep.
Is it working?
Unless
Are
it's a
we...
beanie. Unless I have extra beanies.
Yeah, there you go.
But
But she wants a poker chip on those cold, cold nights that are coming. She needs a poker chip to keep her warm. So we're still $173 from that goal, so please check it out. And it takes too long, Donna. And sorry, folks, no time for reviews this week. And
That's my fault. Sorry, guys.
that's true. And Joe Dog points out he would die. Brian would die if he had the carrots.
Oh, are they like nice and like cooked in brown sugar and stuff?
Okay, here we go, Brian. You're gonna hate me in the next 30 seconds.
I already do,
Brian's
don't
got one
worry.
in his pocket to show.
He's
Yeah,
like,
I got a carrot for you.
I've been keeping this for a whole week.
It's a little mushy. You just shave it off, it'll be fine. But no,
Carrots are the worst carrots.
no, these things were slow cooked in butter and spices and honey, with honey at the last minute. So anyway, glad to have you back, Brian. I'm number one. Or as we used to have it on here. Like you're the first, brother. You're the first. Today. This hour. Remember who I'm married to. And daughter privileges, I don't even get wife privileges. This is Jennifer Hawkins. I'm seeing, this is probably going to be like an expose soon, about Eric being so...
I'm sure Jeffrey got a free beanie as well.
And I'm sure every day it's like... But anyway, so... Joe Dog says, I think it was for me. I'm not sure...
It was for Brian, because
Yeah.
I didn't know about the carrots. And even you saying the carrots, I didn't really know how, like, I couldn't visualize them until writer McWriterson over here decided to go ahead and say how delicious it was and described it to me as though he were writing it in a novel.
You know,
If you like how Brian describes his carrots, you'll love his book.
If you like how he described his carrots, you should definitely read the books that he wrote. They were great.
next book will be Carrot Stein, the post-dinner Prometheus. And
I won't be reading that one.
Brian will be getting the audiobook. Anyway, the ASMR. He'll get to hear me chewing. But anyway, we are caught up with your comments inexplicably. So please keep them coming, and we'll flash some on the screen. We'll read the really pertinent ones after this great review from Mr. Brian Rodman. So Brian, you get the floor. Yay!
All right.
And all the dirt on it. So here we go. See how we treat our guests. Anyway, here he is, Brian Rodman.
All right. Well, it's good to be back doing this. This is it's a lot
Good to
of
have
fun.
you.
I am very pleased to bring to you a brief review of the Saturday morning adventures from IDW are now doing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is issue 1. It came out in I believe it came out last month. And the issue 2 just dropped yesterday. I haven't been to my wife hasn't been to the comic book store to pick up stuff for me, so I didn't read that one yet. But number 1 is, I'm just going to tell you straight out of the gate, it's fantastic. If you love the cartoon, it's literally like I hear the characters' voices because they captured the essence of the cartoon. It felt like I was just engaged in another episode from the old 1990s, late 80s, early 90s cartoon. And it's a really fun idea. It starts off where April is telling everyone that it's stormy outside, and it's the storm of the century essentially, and the fellas are gathered around the TV. They're really sad because they can't go out patrolling because it's raining. Brief moment. It is definitely a kids it's geared towards that childlike mentality, just like the show was. So it's not geared for adults. It's geared for kids and big kids. Those of us who grew up on the show, or maybe the Archie comics. It's very reminiscent of that. And I forgot to do this, so let me jump in here. The story is by Eric Burnham. The art is by Tim Laddie. Colors Steve Levine. Letters Sean Lee. And the editor is Charles Beecham. Or Beacom. I don't know how to say his name. But anyway, another thing that jumped out at me is just the art. It's the same style as the cartoon, and it's just so I don't know. It's got that flavor of the cartoon, but also kind of has just like a really detailed. Honestly, and I'm not gonna. This sounds braggadocious. Sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm not. It reminds me of the Nebulizer artwork a little bit, like the style of it, just kind of
He's
how
ripping
it's,
you
like,
off.
I know, no, but I really love it. There's just something about it that I dig a lot. But the story of this is because they can't go out and patrol, they can't train because it's storming outside. Donatello has developed a VR machine, which is the size of a giant arcade, which is definitely what this is supposed to look like. And I love it. They have where is it? He has a helmet that he puts on, and it transports you directly into just VR. It transports you directly into the game. And what's really cool is this little Easter egg, which is the straight from the Ninja Turtles video game, is on the screen. So if you remember playing, Turtles in Time or any of the old arcade games, this is where obviously where you pick your character. And I thought that was so cool. The artwork in this is so imaginative and fantastic. This is when they are all hooked up into the VR system now. And what Donatello did was he took all of their favorite video games and pretty much put it all into this VR training simulation. So making up all the video games, he combined all of them and turned them into training simulations where they are all actually using their mind to exercise their bodies, essentially. So it's kind of a Matrix thing. It's really cool, but you get a lot of Easter eggs of different video games, and all of their classic villains show up in the issue. One video game is that they use is just like Mario Kart. You can see that right here. Let's get that there. So it's just like Mario Kart, where they're throwing barrels at each other, and also Raphael gets transported into a original Mario game where it's Donkey Kong throwing the barrels down, but it's Bebop and Rocksteady throwing barrels down at Raphael. It's just a lot of that stuff. It's a lot of fun, and the twist of the issue is electricity strikes the power line, and there's your sound effects, Eric. And they go through and they're all zapped into the game permanently until they beat it. So now there's no way out. And there's just a couple really cool splash pages I wanted to share of all the villains that show up. Shredder, of course, shows up. And it's all essentially, it's specifically made to test their best abilities to each individual turtle. And so each turtle gets a spotlight in a specific game, and then they all come together and fight all their villains all at once. And it's a lot of fun. And spoiler alert, they win and they get out of the game. And April O'Neil shows up at the end with a new video game that she wants to play, and they really don't. They're tired of video games. They no longer want
It
them.
must be Wii Fit.
But this is the tease of the cover of issue 2, which came out yesterday. And I'm serious, guys. If you love the cartoon, you're gonna love this because it's pretty much the exact same spirit. Like I said, I heard all the original voices in my head as I'm reading it. Love the artwork. It's so much fun. 10 out of 10. That's it for me.
Coolness. That does sound good.
Now, a couple of questions about your review here.
Indeed.
Now, considering that this is not the first Saturday Morning Adventure series,
Yeah.
I'm not certain if you read the G.I. Joe one. How does that compare to the G.I. Joe one?
I haven't read all of the G.I. Joe one. I think I read the first one. I have it all on Comixology, but I haven't read them all. I read the first one after your review. And I got to be honest with you. I watched the G.I. Joe cartoon when I was a kid, but it was in reruns, and I don't remember a lot of it. So I can't really give it a good, like a just opinion about the comparison between the comic and the show. I personally really enjoyed the first issue when I read it. I liked it. I thought it was fun. This though, I mean, this was my favorite cartoon growing up. I had all the toys, all that stuff. They nailed it. They nailed the spirit. They nailed the characters. Everything is exactly the same as the cartoon with this. Again, I can't really compare with G.I. Joe. I liked what I read, but I don't remember a whole lot of the cartoon. The only thing I remember as an adult with the cartoon of G.I. Joe is that YouTube dubbed G.I. Joe special what is it, the PSAs? Yeah, that's the butt.
They even got that spot on in that series. They got it spot on and made it worse. They made it worse. They made it serious.
No. Oh no!
And how does Snake Eyes talk in that one? It's like, oh, Snake Eyes. Yeah, you're right, Snake Eyes. I need to take this thing back to the store. I shouldn't be stealing it. It's like, you're exactly right. I'm wrong for that. I was like, he's not saying anything, but yet the guy is having a full conversation with
He lifted up the mask and gave him that one bug eye he had.
It's not as bad as what it was. It was like Law and Order. And they caught the kid using the slingshot on the cat. And at the very end, it's like, hey, yeah, no one that's half the battle. And yeah, kid, don't ever let us catch you again. I'm like,
we will kill you.
That's right. Oh my God. We got compliments already. Joe Dog McKeel says, Brian is a wordsmith that weaves a great yarn into a beautiful tapestry. I'm going to say he's talking about you.
No, he's talking about you and your stupid description of the carrot.
You mean that delicious, tender, sweet, in so many ways carrot? Yeah, I can see that. And yeah, yarn or yam and yarn. That's what you knit with. So yeah, I knit things. Anyway, or I'm a nitwit. Anyway, thank you, Brian.
Thank you. That was good.
That was good. That was
I got
good.
the yam joke, Carl.
That felt good.
We're good.
Yeah. Well, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. So anyway,
because he's BK the writing man.
My pipe's in the van though. But anyway, Joe, is the hotline open tonight?
Yes.
All right. Then we'll go to Eric and then
we got
pop around the room.
Some business to deal with here.
All right.
All right.
Get your fingers ready, people.
Welcome to Comic Book Phone. We're going to deviate for our normal selection because we got some previews. In the next couple of weeks, we will be talking about Flashpoint Beyond #3. This is the B cover to that particular series here. And this is the only Batman you need to worry about because why? It's Thomas Wayne. And
the one true Batman.
The one true Batman. And we got Variants 2 coming soon to a comic book spectrum near you. With that being done, here are your tonight's selections here. If you want Strange #3, select 1. If you want Red Sonja, Red Sita #2, please select 2. If you want Hit Me this is right. Hit Me #3, please press 3. Please select now. No, I have to remember. It's like, no, I only get the first 2 of this here. We haven't did #3.
Here we go.
And this is the series that I do have all handy handy and everything right now.
All
So
right.
I do know that, but I kind of have to a lot of stuff to catch up, and I'm still waiting
Will
for them
one
to
launch
send.
a rant of any sort?
I still waiting up for them to send me the people that I bought 8 billion G's from. They still haven't sent me my shipment as of yet.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. They have
So
failed us.
I got two issues of 8 billion G's that I need to read, plus a couple of other issues of series that I have, like Dual Power Bomb. I know there's 2 issues of that in that shipment as well.
Even I've read the second issue of 8 Billion Genies.
No,
It's good.
I reviewed the first 3. I think we haven't did issue 4 and 5 as of yet.
Okay, all right.
Is that over yet, or is there one more coming?
No, it's 8, and they only did 5 issues so far.
Okay.
Okay.
Remember, they went back and did the evil thing. We're going to go back and reprint these stuff, and we're going to be offering the
We're doing
reprint.
second prints. We're doing third prints. We're doing fourth prints.
You see, that's where Image screwed up. Instead of going to a second print and breaking their word to fandom and upsetting Joe so desperately, they should have just skipped the second print and gone straight to the third. Follow me for more
just
life hacks. Why am I not working in the industry? That's what
printed
I
more
want
of them, not labeled them as a second print. Said, "Oh, look, we found more in the warehouse."
Yeah, there we go. And be careful, the ink's still wet on them. So, so anyway, the people are voting here. So, Eric, you want to proceed with your review?
Yeah,
All right, take it away,
Let's
Eric,
see.
and pledge to Eric's campaign. Now,
Yeah.
damn it!
Do it now.
No, you're still not caught up on Seven Sons yet. I did buy the next issue, even though it's been aggravating me. It started out so good.
The G size will not be talked about.
Moon Knight Annual with Werewolf by Night.
Nice.
Did you read that, Clyde?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
For an annual, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt.
I mean,
Delayed response though.
to have those 2 characters together again, Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell and Moon Knight, and also a reappearance of some other characters that we haven't seen in a while. That was kind of
Oh,
cool.
I was happy to see one of them for sure. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all right. It was all right. I did buy Creepshow 2. I never did find issue 1, but I did pick up the second one. I didn't read it yet, but I thought there would be more stories in there. There's only like 2.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to review this one. I started to read it. I was like, I don't remember what happened in the first issue.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
So that's a bad sign. Did I like it? Do you guys remember?
Which issue is this?
10,000 Black Feathers.
I don't remember it either.
I don't remember you reviewing that.
Well, I was so surprised at finding the picture in the feather on the cover of issue 1.
right.
I could see the picture so much better on the screen here in issue 2.
Yeah. You I thought you liked it, at least an average kind of
Yes,
liked
I
it.
think it probably was average. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. But
He didn't throw it.
what I am reviewing
He
today,
didn't throw it. That's right.
He didn't throw. He did not throw issue 1. I know that.
No.
I haven't thrown one in a while.
Come on, Eric. Throw one for me.
You know you want to.
Do it.
I got to buy a Colin Bunn book.
I'll buy one for you.
I don't know. I might have thrown the G.I. Joe 299 if I bought it when they brought back my favorite character from the dead for the past 10 years. No, but I did buy. I bought issue 2 of Sergeant Rock and his Howling Commandos. I mean, no, that's not right. I almost said Sergeant York because that is one of my favorite movies. But Sergeant York versus the Army of the Dead, written by Bruce Campbell. Issue
Whoa.
number 2.
Woohoo.
Issue 1 was very good. I loved it. I believe Clyde liked it too.
Yep.
And have you got to issue 2 yet, Clyde?
Yep.
I love the way it starts out. So you got these zombies in a bar.
2 zombies walk into a bar and
And they're obviously zombies. They kind of know what's going on, but they're having fun shooting each other and laughing as they do it.
Yeah.
That's my kind of zombie book right
Blowing
there.
each other's heads off.
I can see the subtle touch of Bruce Campbell there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Playing-
that didn't hurt. Oh yeah, pop, 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 pop.
Playing a little bit of head rugby at times.
Yeah, it was-
Commanding officer.
As soon as I opened it up, I was like, "Oh, this is just like a movie, but with Bruce Campbell in it. But I'm going to say one thing. I like the story. The story wasn't as good as the first issue. I think I liked the first issue a little more.
Yep.
This one, I think issue 3 is going to be really good. I think
It's kind of a build-up issue.
Yeah, it's really a build-up issue. But you know what? The art seemed to be rushed in this issue. It just seemed they really lacked. There's a lot of colors, but the backgrounds are very sparse of what's in the background.
Yep.
In a lot of the pages, and it usually doesn't jump out at me, but this time it really did.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and it's in most of the pages. I mean, they might have been rushed. I'm not sure. I mean, it distracted me a bit, but I still enjoy the story. You know, it's I almost said Sergeant York again. Sergeant Rock and his buddies are fighting Nazi zombies.
And finding out just how hard they are to get rid of.
Yeah. Try shooting them in the gut. That don't work. Obviously, you know you gotta shoot a zombie in the head.
Right.
These guys should know that.
What kind of person shoots a zombie in the gut?
Someone.
Well, if he's laying on top of you, you might not be able to get the gun up there. That's kind of what happened in
All
one
right.
shot.
Okay. I was about to say, really?
I will say now. This is for Joe. It's a DC book. The ads didn't bother me until the second half of the book.
Oh,
It was all Batman.
Well, see, the first ad in the first half of the book, it does kind of, it splits up a scene a little bit, which is good. You know, it's okay. So it didn't bother me. But it's Batman, Mr. Freeze, and but in the back, it seemed like every other page after you hit the middle of the book, it seemed like almost every other page was an ad, and that's when I was really getting into the story. Because they run into, or they find Hitler's doctor. And Hitler's doctor needs drugs. And Hitler's doctor is trying to get some more drugs for Hitler. I want to see if he's a zombie. We don't know quite yet. I'm wondering if it's more ads. I mean, it was like an ad every other page in the back. And, Batman.
It's like commercials on streaming networks. They just hit you right in the weirdest spot in the episode.
Yeah, but at least most of them now will tell you how much longer you have to watch the commercial.
That is true.
But Batman.
we need the return of that little classic blurb. You'll continued after next page.
Riddler. So close enough to Batman, but yeah.
Well, it's not Batman. It's about Bruce Wayne. We've made it clear.
Well, Batman related on the back cover.
Oh, that's such a stupid show.
But so they found they're fighting through the zombies, trying to find out what's causing them. They run into a truck of transporting dead people to become zombies through the regeneration program, and that's when they uncover the doctor, and they're going to follow the doctor back because they already know it's Hitler's doctor. They know what happens if they follow him back. That's a really cool picture. I like that explosion.
And the laughter.
Oh, yeah.
I like the
that.
laughing. That's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the burning zombies coming up from the explosion because you didn't hit them in the head.
When will they learn?
Yeah, but I would still say, as with issue 1, I did feel like definitely it was written by Bruce Campbell. I mean, you get that feel. I like the characters. This was. I would say it's a lead-up issue. It's not a fill-in issue. It's not as bad as a fill-in issue. It's a lead-up issue. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still very enjoyable for me. If you like zombies, oh yeah,
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Covers.
nice.
I don't know if it's. I don't know which ones. How many covers there were this time.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of. Let me take that out of the sleeve. You'll be able to see it here.
Yeah, I love the interior artwork a lot.
Yeah.
Well, of course you would.
I
Because
know.
it's very Magnola-like.
I know it is. I saw that.
We discussed that on issue 1. Just because of the way the shading is and everything. It's all
Look at that. The best kind of comic book art right there.
it's
There you
all
go.
thick blacks and stuff. But Magnola puts more backgrounds in. This one just seemed like it might have been a little rushed in some cases.
Yeah.
And I don't like drawing backgrounds, and they're the last thing I draw per page.
I mean, are we talking like kind of rushed, or are we talking like the end of the Dark Knight Returns?
Wait, you
rush?
said you draw them last. I normally draw them first.
I sketch where they're going to be, then I draw all the main stuff first, then I come in late afterwards and draw in the backgrounds.
You save the worst for last.
Yes, I do.
I'll go ahead and go in and get them out the way.
I wait to see if I can I can hide them.
Do something else.
Yeah. Anything else? For the love of God, anything.
Hey, I can put a sound effect right here.
Hey, man, I do
breathing.
that. I do that with backgrounds and feet. So there we go.
Beautiful.
I don't remember what I gave issue 1. I think I gave it like an 8 or something.
Yeah,
Sounds right.
This round, I'm still going to give it a 7 because I really liked it, and I have fond memories of Sergeant Rocca as a kid. So, and I just love Bruce Campbell.
And who can blame you?
Yeah, so 7. I give it a 7.
Excellent.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm probably gonna have Robin pick those up when she goes to the comic book store tomorrow.
They're
Bruce
enjoyable.
too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And especially when I opened it up, I saw the zombie bar fight.
Yeah, that's
I was like, man, I'd love to see this on film.
Well, you want to bet that Campbell's working on the script right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as
that'd
he's
be
writing
cool. I
it,
hope
he
so.
calls up Sam Raimi. He's like, dude, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk to Jim Gunn? Tell him I got a project for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So anyway, thank you, Eric. That was great.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. And Carl Wisdom says, I don't think you loved it. I think it was in the middle, and maybe they need a scorecard. We probably do need a scorecard, or I want bingo cards. I want bingo cards for our audience. So, anyway,
That would
Joe.
be interesting with bingo cards, because then you got to look for certain actions to happen in a show, and then to have one of our watchers to go bingo in the middle of a show, and then we give them like a surprise prize.
That could work. That could work.
A
And,
no
know,
prize.
A no prize. There you go. And we could have the center spot. Brian has an asthma attack. That's kind of a given.
Or a foot fall off now.
Or a
There we
foot
go.
fall off. That's what
Yeah.
we're working for now. So
Starts with the toes. Or blindness.
to everyone who is a diabetic, we do apologize for this episode. For
Hey,
people
man.
are so insensitive. Anyway,
Hey, all I have to say is sometimes you just got to run out of pities. You know what I mean? So
that's true. That's
there you
true.
go.
And don't anyone ask me how I treated my amputee mother after the event. So anyway, I decided.
I did. I told my dad, I was like, if the worst happens and I lose my leg or something, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm totally dressed up as a pirate for Halloween with a peg leg.
Oh my
It's
God,
happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're still the same sexy guy you always will. You will still be the same sexy guy
I'll
you
just
always
be
were,
half the
Brian.
man I was before.
No. Women will be throwing themselves at your foot.
I've always, even before I was diabetic, I thought, if I ever lost a leg for any reason, accident or whatever, I want one of them cool spring-looking ones.
Oh, yeah.
It looks awesome.
The kind that you can jump over cars with.
Yeah.
Holy
Wait a minute.
crap, that's what I want.
If I
I'm going to go downstairs and eat 5 pounds of
prosthetic
sugar.
limbs, they're going to look damn cool, I'll tell you right now.
Brian's like, where's the jelly bean? Let's do
That's
that.
right. Well, I'm not waiting now, folks. I'm thinking of hacksaw. I'm doing the deed right here. Man, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Sir, why did you chop off your own leg? I really wanted that spring-loaded foot, man.
I want to be able to run as fast as a car. Those things are fast too.
Hmm?
They're amazing.
Well, I don't know if they're fast with one of them.
Right.
Well,
That might be a little awkward.
you hop courageously into battle. And let's see, here we go. And Lissy's down for bingo cards. See, it's as good as done now.
I
See?
made up a bingo card at work. It's been like 6-7 years ago now, when I was in a different department, because the vice president that ran our department
Right.
had all these strange phrases he used over and over and over again. So me and one of the other guys, who's my best friend also, we never used it, but I did make the card up.
Well, we could each column be like, me, Brian, another column for Eric, another column for Joe, another column for Clyde, with all our peculiarities
You know what?
in there.
My appearance on the show could even be a bingo card.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We could just do that.
Brian's
If
power
Clyde has
goes
a beard
off.
or not.
Click. Brian hits the wrong button on the StreamYard console. That'd almost be the full center.
Brian passes out.
Yes.
Now that
Brian
one you gotta
passes out.
Specify which
Yeah.
one.
Brian runs out of liquid to drink in the middle of a show.
Check your cards, people.
Somebody would have marked off a space for that.
There we go. Get it down there, Joe. You could be a winner. And Rodman, Sarah, good to see you, sweetie. Mwah. Rodman Rabbit is back this evening. Huzzah! And so are you. Good to see you, beautiful. Hope you're having a great night. And instead of bingo, it would be Bebchik.
I like it.
So get your Bebchik cards ready.
Yeah. The unpronounceable acronym. I like this.
Okay,
Carl's,
that's the homework for the rest of the show. Everybody's got to make up a word with those words.
yeah. I'm surprised that you don't say that word and the wizard grants you great powers after something like that. So, anyway.
That'd be a weird thing to shout when in danger.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
The worst of BKL, the honoringness of Eric. That could work. I mean,
what is this, Captain Planet? What's happening? With your awkwardness combined.
The adaptability of Joe and the fun-lovingness of Rodman.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I think we got on there, Joe. I mean, we're on. I see our collaboration taking form. And what did I miss? Bet I could make something out of it. Well, it's more than we've been able to do. So anyway, we're glad you're here. And seriously, so how have you guys been? I've been well. And
I've
probably,
been trying not to die.
I think it's a good mission for all of us.
Yep.
And
Names starting with vowels are actually rare, aren't they?
pretty much.
Huh, I never thought of that.
Yeah. Well, maybe I need to hang out with
You're
people.
special, Eric.
I am. That's
You
what my
are.
mama told me.
That's what Mama told me.
Every day. And there we go. And Carl's not impressed. Anyway. This is my surprise look. Okay, anyway.
Joke's on you, pal. I'm used to letting people down.
That's right.
Wow.
And Sarah says, yeah, I tried not to kill you with laughter at what I got from work. Yeah. Sarah sends me photographs. Not that kind. But, from her job. And Mark Lerner, greetings from the prairie. Mark, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well tonight. So it's a full house here. We gotta get this going on here.
It
So
looks like we got, 2 new people that need to vote before we...
Yes. I was going to put you up on the screen here, Joe. So, Joe, please take a moment from your artistic endeavors and go back through the choices here real fast.
Oh, it's only 3 possibilities here. And those 3 possibilities in the order that they were given. For issue number 3 of Strange, that was option 1. Option 2 is Red Sonja Red Secret number 2. And option 3 was Hit Me number 3. And because we got 2 more people that did show up, we have to allow them to vote before I announce the winner.
And we have a 1 from Sarah. And I'm going to vote for number 1 also.
Oh, that's right. You guys didn't vote either. The
Yeah.
ones that's sitting on the panel.
And
We're looking
Lissy,
at 4 3s right now.
yeah, Lissy goes for number 3.
I'll vote for number 1.
Thank you.
Well, I was going to be an oddball and vote for 2. I'm going to stick with my vote for 2. I feel sorry for Red Sifa Sanya.
Yeah, she's been here a while, hasn't she?
Yeah, all 3 of these have been here for a while. All 3
Man.
have been leftovers from previous weeks. It's just now, finally, since all the other books have been done.
Yeah, very true, Sarah. Very true. So, Clyde, what's your choice? Number 4?
No, I think 3.
Okay.
I like the first issue of that, and I didn't keep following it up, so I'm kind of curious.
I think the only person that didn't vote was the new person, which is Mark.
Mr. Lerner, do you have a preference? We'll give you 30 seconds.
Mark, tell us what to do.
Mark, I got to say to everyone, Mark and I have been friends since 6th grade.
Ooh.
My
Yeah.
condolences, Mark.
I know. He's on so many prayer lists, I'm telling you.
He's just added to mine.
Yeah, and would we win? No, one wins no matter what right now. Sarah's declared a winner. Sarah doesn't care. There's a conspiracy going on. The votes are invalid. There we go. Democracy. Anyway.
Does she know that this voting is taking place here live in Chicago? So, yeah, you might declare a winner, but that's not the winner.
Yeah, so we're going to be listening to a review of Wonder Woman. Anyway, and Donna Carlene, poor Mark. I know, poor Mark. I feel pity for the man. And Sarah is going fake news. Yeah, we are your leading source for fake news.
If you
when
don't
the news
believe
is
everything
when the news
that we
is
say to be true,
it's like the old Daily News slogan: when news breaks, we fix it.
Yes.
I've honestly never heard that before.
This is early Jon Stewart, very early Jon Stewart. I keep forgetting you're younger than all of us. So.
I am.
He doesn't remember the early days of what Comedy Central.
I was a kid when those happened. I caught up with it about 5 years later, but I missed the early years of The Daily Show.
I even remember Craig Kilborn. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Anthony Tockard, vote early and often. Nick, 1, 2, or 3. And Nicholas pretty close to Chicago, too. I think he's in central time zone. So anyway, let's give it 30 more seconds, I think. And then we'll plow on, but I think we've probably got a winner by now. And Sarah's voting for Nick. Nick says 1.
That's allowed in Chicago.
Yeah, that's allowed. Yeah, a lot of it. But the thing is, Nick's still alive. I always say, and Carl Wisman says, I always say when news breaks, don't look at me. I didn't do it. Well said. Well said. And the Dark Mistress has spoken. So yeah,
we can contest with that.
That's right. So that And Nick Tockard says, I missed the options, so 1 or Lady Mechanica. So you better review Lady Mechanica.
No,
he's been waiting a long time.
I did all the Lady Mechanica books that I had. I did that full series. So I did that full series. So I don't have any more Lady Mechanica until I get another Lady Mechanica series that I'm interested in. But the options again was Strange, issue number 3. That was 1. 2 is Red Sita, number 2. That was number 2, and number 3 is Hit Me, issue number 3.
All right. So I think the time's up. What's the winner?
Well, okay. So Nick said 1, and by chance, it wasn't strong enough to make a tie where I get to say, bleep it, I'm doing Red song.
There we go. And Sarah does vote for 1 herself, and Nick Tockard says, I feared Sarah, so 1.
Yeah, but
which is valid.
That still wasn't strong enough because Hit Me number 3 won by 1 vote.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
And Sarah votes for 1 again, so it's catching up.
Hold on,
I can't disappoint Sarah.
Wait a minute.
I changed my vote to
realized it's a Chicago election, so she vote once and voting often.
Joe, wait,
Joe,
no,
I'm changing my vote to 1.
Oh,
Will there be a special episode of Comic Phone Spectrum next Tuesday?
Comic Phone.
An election night?
Oh,
I
on Tuesday.
I have an election comic that I can review.
There we go. And 1 cracks whips, says Sarah. Yay!
Wait. So
and Sarah wants to know about Strange. Oh, darling, what I could tell you about Strange. Anyway.
So since Clyde changed his vote, it's a tie, so that means I'm the Bible.
Okay, Sarah says it's game changer. You rock for changing it. This is how this country works.
So
welcome to democracy.
Tie, my vote, I got veto power.
Okay.
Hold on, really quick before we go further.
I could go ahead and do what I really want to do here, which is Red Sita, because
why didn't you say so?
Because of the simple fact that this was a very short-lived series, and I got upset because it was listed as a ongoing series, but it only ran 4 issues. And Dynamite kind of like dropped the ball with a lot of the stuff here, and they did all of these other variants of Red Sonja in its place, because you have Samurai Sonja now, and all of these different like Red Sonjas going around up there like. well, why can't you keep this one around? I guess people just didn't buy it or whatever. I don't know. But again, that's another rant for another day.
That's true. As if hanging out with Ron and I with you isn't weird, Big Kim. It's just another Friday for me, darling. And do both then. I had to make a choice. You're fired. Brian, you were about to say something.
I feel like I never received my check in the mail, so until that happens.
There we go. Well, on this show, don't expect it anyway. Anyway, Brian.
I was just going to say, we all just completely bypassed the fact that Eric sang Britney Spears.
I know. Can you believe
Yeah. I was like...
no one said a word. I was like,
nobody
wow.
said anything.
I was too busy
It's
yammering.
just expected.
What have you become since I've been gone?
Deaf, apparently.
I swear, I want to sing it every time he shows that book. I couldn't resist it anymore. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Eric just likes dressing in that schoolgirl outfit.
But I do want to point this out. Just like real elections in Illinois, your vote doesn't matter.
Right. And Joe's about to prove it.
No, it's like because of the one change, now we have a tie. And
hey, my vote won. So I
hate
care.
ties. I really do because.
Do number two. Do a number two. I mean, Brian has been.
Yeah, I'm doing a number two. And we're actually going to do both, but that means that guess what? We're doing Red Sawyer Red Sleep the next week.
Well, there you go. Okay, we can do that. Now remember, we get cut off of Facebook after 2 hours.
Becoming attractions. We're doing that book next week because we got to move things along because I do have issue number 3, just like I have issue number 4. Issue number 4 is Strange and issue number 4 of this here. So we got to keep things along. So
I got issues too.
Because of the tie, I'm going to end up doing both, and you guys don't have a choice next week.
Oh, yes, we do.
We have a choice of not letting you on. I keep forgetting about that.
I get a choice. Anyway. He knows I never do that much.
So, pretty much, because Sarah is finally coming back in, just to say this here, we miss you over there on Nevermind the Furthermore. You haven't been showing up, and we know that you've been busy. We know that you've been busy because that's the show that we're so used to seeing you each and every day. But because you came in and you caused the tie and people to change votes and everything, we're going to do your book first, which is Strange number 3. Now,
oh my God, this girl! That stupid o'clock start. Joe Dog, you better fire that one up early for Carl.
An hour and 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, Facebook users, when we lose you 2 hours, we apologize in advance.
My bad.
Okay.
No.
Long story short, we covered the first 2 issues of Strange here.
Too late. Go ahead.
Where Clay is now is now the sorcerer supreme of this Marvel universe here and everything. She already punked out Dr. Doom at issue number 1 and went to this one mystical shopping area to pick up some nice little tea and everything to that magnitude, and got into a little bit of a scuffle, beat these so-called mystical soldiers down and whatnot, and called it a day. Came back home, and then issue number 2, we ended up seeing that one of the spells that was casted a while back that she really didn't tell anybody about brought back the Harbinger. Brought back the Harbinger, and it turns out it actually resurrected Thunderstrike. And they had to deal with the whole thing about Thunderstrike, and Thunderstrike eventually became beheaded and was released back into a peaceful bliss at the end of everything here, which leads up to issue number 3, where we find out at the end of issue number 2 that the little bitty shopping area that she went to got attacked again. So that's where we leave off with issue number 3. So if you want to know more in depth about the first 2 issues, go back and rewatch the other ones. Put this one on pause. For Sarah, just wait until after the show because, again, I got 2 books to do because you couldn't just wait. So Strange number 3 is written by Jed McKay, penciled by Marcelo Ferreira, and is colored by Java Tagula. And pretty much it leads us back to how in the very beginning, you have like in the so-called hideout for where the mystical soldiers was coming from, you have like their main boss up here thinking about a couple of things, and he's like a actual representative for Dormammu. And here comes in Clea, to really kind of speak to him to figure out what was going on and everything. And she announced herself as Clea Strange. She still announced herself as the wife of Stephen Strange. But not only is she Sorcerer Supreme, she calls herself the Warlord of Manhattan. And if you ever follow Clea's history, Clea is not a stranger to fighting. That's what she likes doing. She loves fighting. She loves fighting, with the mystic arts and everything at her beck and call and whatnot. So she comes to the head of that so-called outfit and pretty much finds out that the people who were there at that shopping area was not up under his control. They pretty much abandoned him for somebody who is more powerful. And this is where we see them out and about on patrol and everything before we get our first ad. So eventually Clea, catches up to her, and there's a little bit of fight brewing as she jumps on the vehicle and everything, causing, mayhem and destruction because why? She's pissed off that the people that she counts on for, the mystical substance that she requires and everything. Now she's pissed off, and now she's like, yeah, I'm going to take all of you on. And you can see, I like this double page spread here, just to kind of show you one versus a army. And the army actually think that they got a chance against Clea. They just don't know. Clea has, if it's safe for me to say, Clyde and BKM, that Clea has actually ruined other people's universes.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's a nice
and
two-page
this army
spread,
thinks
though.
that they're going to do something against her.
Yeah.
But I just like the way that the scene is set it up. It's like, oh yeah, we got her. It's like we got her exactly where we want her. It's like, let's employ the countermeasures. It's like, oh really? You gave her an option. You allow her to see you. And pretty much she just like, okay, fine. Kid gloves are over, and then we got the advertisement for the music for Strange Multiverse of Madness, the actual music from it, not the actual movie. So I find that ad kind of fitting and whatnot. So pretty much they open up a barrage of fire and everything like that, and that's not doing anything to Clea. Clea is just like, okay, fine, I just going to catch all this stuff, knock it away and everything to that magnitude. And then that barrage of fire gets interrupted by an ad for variants, which again, issue number 2 is going to come very soon. Not next week where it could have been, because why, we had a tie this week. So pretty much Clea just again more and more angry. They just pissing her off more so than anything else, because again, they don't realize how they fucked up by destroying that one shopping village here. And she's up here, it's like just giving them what for and whatnot, and pretty much turned them all to sandstone ash and everything, and just like, okay, that was over with. The gangsters I dealt with. She pretty much calms herself down and whatnot, and we got an ad for the Mandalorian #1. Again, all these ads should not be breaking up parts of the story, because this was the key part. When she calms herself down, she noticed where she was at within their particular compound. She notices that this was like a specialized room, and they was transmitting data, but they placed the ad in there before you could actually see what she broke into. It wasn't a good transition there, only to get interrupted by another ad again. So now this ad was a good transition, because why? The scene shifted. Again, good editing at this point. Scene shift, good time to place an ad, either before or after, just to get you out of the mindset of what had transpired before. So now she's back at the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is the actual house for the Sorcerer Supreme, and she's pretty much, cooking up dinner for herself and everything. And she's talking to Wong, and her and Wong is trying to, cook up some dinner and everything. And then she has kind of like this whole image of Stephen again, and having like a memory of how this was similar to, to when, Stephen Strange was still around and everything. And then all of a sudden she gets another visitors asking for Sorcerer Supreme of Earth and everything. And we get a message from the warlord of Antarctica. So something is going on. So something's going on in Antarctica, and they're reaching out to Clea because, again, she is, the true warlord of Manhattan at this point, as far as the mystic arts is concerned. But yet she also is the Sorcerer Supreme. So the Blasphemy cartel, the army that she's went up against here, they're doing something in Antarctica that's really escalating things to the point where they're moving forward with everything. And we have a reveal of what Null is. And that's the being that she's going to eventually face, even though I'm just going to ignore the ad that interrupted the scene again, and we get to be continued. Overall, this issue was a very fun read, only because we know how Clea is. Clea, you get Clea pissed off and you want to fight, she's going to fight you, and she's going to make you pay for it. And it was a fun little romp as far as that is concerned. But as far as moving the story along, as far as her overall purpose and what she was trying to do to be the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth, and understanding how things are here on Earth, dealing with being Sorcerer Supreme, it really didn't do much for that story. But overall, it was a decent issue. This one, issue number 3 of Strange, I would actually give pretty much a 7 out of 10 for this. Not a bad issue, but it didn't really move the bar forward about her being truly the Sorcerer Supreme as a whole. It pretty much reminds you of why Clea, who Clea is and why Clea is Clea, which is okay in my book. Now, to move very, very, very quickly, because we got the gold standard coming up after me, plus BKM, we got Hit Me number 3. Now, for those who been following the show, fast overview here. You have, oh great, I can't remember her name, but there's the main character right here. She is actually if I could say, a masochist for hire. She you can hire her, you can beat up on her, and she pretty much feels sadist's, fantasies and everything for a living.
That's like Brian.
So in issue number 1, she ended up getting a job, and her bodyguard, who happens to be the boyfriend but not boyfriend, a guy who she loves but not necessarily wants to put in the friend zone, helps her out, and they go and she does this one job, and in the middle of about to seeing her client, the client gets murdered in front of her, and the client ended up giving her a pouch of diamonds for payment. No, she didn't do anything. So by the time, the so-called buddy, friend, boyfriend, whatever, get up there and everything, shootout happens. He gets hit, so he's injured. His leg and stuff is injured. They both get out of harm's way and everything like that, which moves into issue number 2, where they go to what they thought was a quote-unquote safe house for him to be able to heal up and everything. And it turns out it was a double cross, because of the simple fact that the person that she went to happens to know that the diamonds belong to this one mobster, and that there was a actual hit on her client, and now they're trying to track her down. So a repo group comes to their location to reclaim it. She ends up escaping through the help of her quote unquote, friends with benefits type person. She escapes with the diamonds and everything while he stayed behind. And at the very end, she gets a call. She's at a payphone. She calls the pager number. It's like if somebody paged her. She calls the pager number, and it turns out that was the mob boss. And the mob boss is saying, "Hey, just give us back the diamonds. We'll give you back. We'll give you back. Such and such, such and such. We don't want no mess, nothing. Just give us back what is rightfully ours. And you don't have to worry about it." And before she hangs up the phone, the so-called friend with benefits was pretty much, "No, don't do it. Get the heck out of town. You don't know what those diamonds are really for. Get the heck out of town. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay." Which leads up to issue number 3. Now, issue number 3, pretty much she's back on the run, and she goes to another place where she used to work at to try to lay low and hide out, from the mobsters that are after her. So she pretty much goes in there. She looks, first and foremost, she's, tried to get a makeover to change her look and identity and everything here. So pretty much she does that and everything, and she makes a couple of phone calls, and she makes a phone call to this guy named Jerry. Now, Jerry used to be one of, before I forget here, Hit Me is written by Cresta Faust, art by Priscilla Petrates, and colored by Marco Lesco. And there's different art, different people did the actual cover work. I'm not going to cover that here, but pretty much that's the creative team for this series here. So pretty much, he calls up Jerry, and he goes to see Jerry to set up a fake photo shoot. And Jerry happens to be a coroner, by the way. So they set up a fake photo shoot here to make it seem like she was already murdered. That to throw the mobsters out of whack and everything to that magnitude, to keep them off her trail for a little bit. So if they got coroner pictures for where she died and everything, they may just drop the issue and everything to that magnitude. However, pretty much he kind of mentioned that it's like, hey, if you want to know what's really going on, with the so-called mobster, you could reach out to your old nemesis to find out what's what. And she's up here, it's like, wait, she's still around and this, that, and the other. So he kind of mentions yeah, it's like, why don't you give it a shot? And then eventually she meets up with her, and they get into a conversation, and that's when she tells her exactly what happened. And as you can see, it was a high stakes poker game and everything, and she was pretty much there, as a favor to the mob boss and everything, to serve drinks and everything, to be like the eye candy for this poker game and exactly and whatnot. And her client was, falling down out of his luck and everything in this poker game, and yada, yada, yada. And, he was doubling down. He was just losing money left and right, left and right, left and right. And eventually, his luck turns very, 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 very sour, and he lost everything that he had. And the diamonds was supposed to be a payment to pay off his gambling debt. At least that's what is being told. So the diamonds happened to be, what was owed for his gambling debt. So that's when Lulu, and that's what her name is. And Lulu happens to be Asian, by the way. So she tells the other person about what actually happened to Danny, because I remember Danny's name, because that's the so-called friend with benefits that she don't want to admit that she loves, but yet at the same time, don't want to put him in the friend zone either. But after finding out the full story and everything, the lady propositioned her and everything, and that breaks up that scene. And we get our very first ad for Devil's Highway for that. So I'm up here. It's like so far so good. It's like at least whoever edited this book understands the pacing of a story. It's like you want to break it up at a point where you're shifting scenes. So we not only did we get an ad for Devil's Highway on the next page, we ended up getting an advertisement for a somewhat decent book called The Joneses. If we ever get a chance, you might want to check out The Joneses. I heard nothing but good things about that series.
It's an excellent comic. The first series was fantastic, literally.
Mm-hmm. So now that brings us to her tracking down one of her other clients here to get some more information about about the so-called mob boss, to try to figure out a way to get Danny back without having to give up the diamonds and whatnot. So she goes into, and if you notice that all the scenes that we're going to, because she is a sex worker, it has been more along the lines of adult theme here. And thank you for the M there. So she goes into like an adult movie and magazine place and everything, and she goes in and pretty much people recognized her. She asked if the boss was around and everything, and she goes in to see this dude, and this dude is pretty much one of these guys who is like pretty much messed up from the head up and whatnot, pretty much a cocaine addict, and into the whole thing about the sadist masochist type stuff and everything. And he kind of propositioned her a little bit about coming back to like working for him and liking her as a blonde more so as anything else, and kind of gave him like a little bit of a free, kind of like a free session and everything to that magnitude, to bump some money off of him and everything to that magnitude, and to get some more information. And that's when he finally fesses up that the mob boss is tied to the triad. So now she knows the full extent of everything that's going on and everything to that magnitude. And then she goes and then she gets another call for like a page for a session, and she's up there. It's like sets it up for like 9:45 and everything to that magnitude. And she goes in, and this is the so-called client that we are led to believe is going to be a client. I don't think it's going to be a client. I think she's about to get ready to start her master plan at this point, which leads us to the end of this issue, because now we have the cover for issue number 4. And that's the issue for cover for issue number 4. Overall, so far, this book has taken you kind of like on a roller coaster, but at the same time, I don't like how this roller coaster is, going through its chills and thrills and frills and whatever it is here. I feel that there's a lot of redundancy as far as the backtracking and trying to track down what she's actually dealing with. I actually felt that this issue was a little bit slower than the first 2, but it covered a lot more about the setting that the story is in and how well connected that she is. But it didn't move the overall premise or the objective of the story, which is her getting Danny back, that much. With that being stated, I would give Hit Me number 3 a 6 out of 10. If they would have did more to move the story along without going through the long, drawn out history and everything that everybody that she knows, to go deep into to disguise herself that deeply, it would have been a lot better. I just felt that this kind of like rattled on a little bit too long as far as getting to the point where she's going to act out on a plan to get Danny back. But outside of that, it was a decent read nonetheless. And like I said, this is definitely not for kids. This series is not for kids, just because of the nature of the work that she does and the fact
Yeah,
that they
hookers
do.
and blow. So yeah.
So kids, run to your local 7-Eleven. Make sure you get a copy of this.
That's only if 7-Eleven has it. And I do apologize for taking so much time, but because of a tie, that's what happens.
There we go. That's what happens. Well, speaking of tied up, which is what he likes to be, Mr. Rodman, his pimp is knocking at the door, and those three corners won't work themselves.
What the hell was that? Oh god!
It was your heartwarming farewell, Brian.
Thank you. You're gonna kill me. Anyway, I got it. I'm losing some steam, so I'm gonna head off here, guys. But thank you so much for having me back. If I'm able to, I will be back next week. I plan on doing this regularly again, if you guys will have me. So
You'll get had.
Oh, I do have another question before you go here. And that question is, are the dingoes coming back anytime soon?
So with that, because it like me popping in and out of this show when I can is very different from me running a show every week or every other week or whatever, and I am not consistently well enough to commit to that, and I don't want to leave our audience hanging in an inconsistent kind of schedule. So the dingoes are on hiatus. We're not gone. But yeah, because of my health issues, unfortunately, it is my fault. We are on hiatus until we can get my junk figured out. Which
it's all about his junk.
Exactly. But no, and that's the thing is me sitting on the couch being able to chit chat for an hour or so is doable now. Where it wasn't before. It wasn't, thank you, Sarah. Oh, goodness. But it was wonderful seeing you all again. It was wonderful being here. And,
It was good having you.
And, no, I haven't had an asthma attack yet, but that's why I'm leaving, so that I don't. So if you have a bingo card, I guess you can, count that. But anyway, hopefully I will be back next week, and the shenanigans will continue with another review of the Brian, from the Brian. Or we can review me if you want to.
There we go. And Sarah is reviewing you. Your junk will be figured out. So
thank you, Sarah.
See, Clyde, we're the safe ones in this group because we got a giant-sized man thing, some junk, and sausage.
There we go. This is
all on the top row.
All
it's always the quiet ones that you have.
And Clyde hasn't said much. So
I know.
I
Clyde
we're
said like 4 words the entire episode. So.
Clyde drops it all at one time, just like the Batman review.
I say
there you go. There you go. Sarah's got it. We take care of each other's junk.
Indeed. Thank you all. I love you all very much, and I will see you later. Have a great
Take care.
night.
It's good having you.
Take care, brother. It's so
you.
good to have you here.
See you next week.
That was refreshing. And now, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for giving us something to say when we unveil our junk. So I will take the next shift real fast, and then we'll let Clyde bring some dignity to these proceedings. It's going to be an uphill battle, yeah. So anyway, it was a light week for me this week, which means I get to sleep in the bedroom this week. We only got 3 things this week. One, we have to go to the computer here because we're getting this one on Comixology,
So
and that's
Superman, Amazing Spider, or Superman, Web of Superman.
No, it's not, Eric. Here, let me hold this up so you can see it, okay? No, it's Monkey Prince. It's the mother flipping Monkey Prince. Monkey Prince. You can't get enough of him. Actually, this is again a fun issue. This one obviously takes place in Atlantis with the denizens of the trench, and some of whom are being possessed by some of the characters that the Monkey Prince is designed to combat. And in here, the Monkey Prince's parents escape, and now he's got to deal with. He knows they've been working for supervillains, How do you break it to mom and dad? Anyway, a fun read as always. And next issue, it's not going to be Superman. It's going to be Supergirl. Anyway, Monkey Prince, 10 out of 10. Great reading, fun entertainment.
Always Supergirl, never
Join
Superman.
Brian for the adventures of Krypton.
That's right, my gun. Because they know good comics back there. That's why the place blew up. Anyway, and then, of course, Vampirist Carmilla. Always a great read if you love good horror in the Warren Comics vein, so to speak. And there's a really good lead story featuring Carmilla herself, written by Don Glut, who used to write for the original Warren magazines. Also, our buddy Lou Motion's in here. A lot of great artwork. Great stuff in here. Really enjoyed this from cover to cover. Solid 10 if you like horror. And then I've got a new book. I'm becoming a sitcomics fanatic. They're run by Darren Henry, who used to be one of the chief writers on Seinfeld, and he's bringing back the old magic from the 60s, 70s comics, especially Marvel here. And this is kind of fun. This could be kind of tasteless, but it's not. It is Headhunter, the Homeless Hero. And that's him doing that's him right down here with the beard and everything. Not the tag team, which is just what they're called, by the way. But he's a homeless superhero. He is almost monosyllabic, and the captions are worth reading because it sets the tone very easily. And you know, the usual thing, he is Headhunter. He has no other name. He needs no other name. He stalks the shadows, but you will never see him because you're not what he hunts. And then those who have crossed him call him a vigilante. Those he has saved call him a champion of the oppressed. And then keeps going on. You know, he fights for the frail. He battles for the broken. He speaks for the silent, not with words, but with actions. Often very violent actions. He has devoted his existence to delivering justice to those who would harm the innocent. And this goes on and on and on. And in here, he breaks up a human trafficking ring, and the only survivor is a young baby who he adopts, kind of a lone wolf and cub thing. And it's an infant, hungry, lonely, and cold. The baby gives voice to those adjectives in the only way it knows. Where? But Headhunter knows that the child's fate will have to be determined by others, for where Headhunter goes, he goes alone. Then he climbs back in the window to get the kid. Goes, hang on, what is he doing? My apologies, dear reader. I know I'm only meant to narrate the action, but Headhunter's never done anything like this before, and I have no idea why he's doing it now. Let's see. As always, the police arrival heralds Headhunter's departure. Thus, our vagabond vigilante's brief, starring role in this little girl's life must now end as abruptly as it began. Unless it doesn't. That's what the caption says. Honestly, you might as well narrate this book yourself because I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I mean, look at him. Unbelievable. Oh, now I'm supposed to tell you that he later paid for that pilfered milk. But there just wasn't room for it showing on page. Yeah, right. Anyway, he joins the Heroes Union. Decides and of course there is the inevitable fight and the inevitable challenge to his character, and then he gets a job and carries out a dual identity where then he fights a couple of bad guys while trying to take care of his new child. And there is just so much scope to this comic. It has so many scene changes. It feels like a TV movie. And it's got comedy, it's got action, it's got massive amounts of violence. What more could you kids ask for? And and the thing is also, look how thick that is. That is 3 times the amount of a regular comic book for only $3.99. And it's a #1 issue. Ron Friends designed it, did the cover. All kinds of cool things in here. This is just an amazing, fun read. And, Joe, you'll like this. You don't get any text or anything till the last couple of pages. And it isn't until the inside back cover you get or not the inside back cover, but you get an ad. And you get 1 page of cartoons. But Sit Comics, and it's called It's TV You Read. Everything I've read from them has been amazing. And if any new company deserves your support right now, I'd say this is the one. They also have a Patreon page. I'm going to be checking it out. And there's just a lot to love here. It's called Headhunter, the homeless hero, rather. And Headhunter is treated very sympathetically. A lot of the homeless are victims of abuse, of mental disorders, of addiction problems, and this treats him with dignity. His story is a little different than all others, of course, but it's well worth reading, well worth picking up, and I think most of you will enjoy it. It is Headhunter, the homeless hero #1, and it's a solid 10 out of 10. And that's my reviews for the week. So,
I will say this.
Yes.
Only a writer is going to tell you how great the captions are in a book.
Which is why you can empathize, right? No, it is one of those things.
It's like the captions are great. You need to read.
Yeah, well, you should read the captions. Damn it!
Of course you should. That's
Yes.
where I put all the important stuff.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to read.
Yeah, pretty much. But the art carries the weight of the story, and I will say that I forgot to give the credits. Pencils and inks were done by Stephen Gordon. And it was written by publisher Darren Henry, with a back cover from Craig Rousseau, and a front cover by Ron Frenz and Sal Buscema, who did Spider-Girl for so many years. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And Carl Wisman says, interesting use of the narrators, and let's see here. And Sarah's enjoying us. It's awesome to see you here. Oh, it's been too long. That's my fault. Gonna wait to get my pulls after I spend a handful of days in Indy. Yeah, that's close to me. And that's special shopping. Store credit for some of my comics for wanting bad. Kept a lot of what you gave me at Silicon. No, I'm starting another pile for you, darling. And so excited to see me. She can't shut up. I have the same problem. I can't shut up either. And spectacular ways to address a lot of things society overlooks. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. And it could have been like a cardboard cutout kind of thing, but it's not. It's handled with taste. And Clyde, I'll have to catch you in the rerun. Yes, we are butting up against stupid o'clock. So, Carl, have a good time. Tell Joe Dog we love him, and thanks for all the food. And now we're going to hand it over to the one, the only, Mr. Clyde Hall himself. Clyde,
Hi.
what you got for us?
Well, just a quick note of a few things I'm picking up next week. DC's got the new Golden Age #1. After Flashpoint Beyond, ripples extend throughout the river of DC continuity and goes from 1940 to 3040s with the Justice Society of America, and ripples extending to the Legion of Superheroes with Mark Waid charting that course. And I think this is a part of what you were talking about, Brian. And we also have nostalgia. No, not the nostalgia feeling, but a character called Nostalgia, or a force called Nostalgia that's a part of the comic book that he is crafting here. So I got to get that. I'm going to get the second issue of Dark Ride. That's the scariest place on earth theme park that I reviewed last week. Love Everlasting. Got to see what happens. Our heroine that is being passed through different romantic comedy or romantic comic book storylines has kind of hijacked the multiverse that somebody is putting her through, and I want to see where she goes from there. She's and each one of them has been about as unpredictable as a Hallmark Christmas movie, so I like it that she's shattering the frame that she's been put into. I'm going to pick up Minor Threats #3 about the D-list supervillains that are trying to hunt down one of their own. And Aftershock has two things I'm looking forward to. Fear of a Red Planet #1 about a colony on Mars 50 years in the future. And a marshal is tapped to solve the murder of the least beloved citizen of this little colony. Very much reminds me of Outland, a classic Western story set in the not too distant future. And The Last Ride of Puller and Pride. That's a couple best friend boy detectives who solved mysteries in their youth, wrote about their adventures, and established an audience as they grew into adulthood, and who now are no longer best friends and also not very popular. So they're returning home to try to salvage the friendship in their careers, but suddenly they face a whole new nemesis right in what used to be their own backyard. I thought the premise was very, very interesting for that. So I will be getting those this week. I also had a light week, just like Brian did. I had Count Crowley, the wrap of the second series. It's been very, very hit and miss, to be quite honest. And it came out of a nosedive to finish up pretty well. I was surprised. I didn't think it could, but it did end on an interesting note. Dead Mall. It has some issues. It has some difficulties with the flow of the book. They try to do some artistic things that don't lead the eye, and they change. Some of the pages go from some of the action goes across this way, and then others they switch over to the traditional way, and it's not clear. It's not made clear enough which one they're doing when. That was, but the narration is interesting because it's not from the perspective of these kids that are looking into a haunted mall. It's from whatever is haunting the mall, it seems like. And that's different. So it's not high on my list of recommendations this week, but because it has issues, but I really like the novelty of that. That is pretty cool.
The 100 has issues.
Yes.
At least one issue.
At least one issue. And the Moon Knight Annual, it made my list of good things I read this week. It's decent, like we talked about. And Sergeant Rock, that was a higher notch on my list because, the artwork's good. It was it was not like Eric said, not a filler issue, but it didn't advance the storyline very much, but had some good action and some humor, a little bit of humor thrown in. And the humor was still reserved, though, for what I expect out of Bruce Campbell. So I liked the beginning, but, it got pretty serious pretty quick. And maintained that. But my pick this week is Damn Them All. I figured after...
I like that name.
Yeah, Damn Them All. I figured after Halloween I would not be doing some horror-themed sort of comics, but this one, I wouldn't really consider it a horror story exactly, but it is very much in the vein of John Constantine and Vertigo titles. The most entertaining kind of Vertigo titles, I think. But Damn Them All, number one, in a 6-issue limited series. Now, it has some odd framing of the story. We get pages that are like this, kind of different, for a flashback sequence at least. But it works in what they're trying to do with it, especially when it's a person that's blindfolded, so they can't see. We see some of the lead up, but then the person's blindfolded, and then when the blindfold is removed, it gets kind of creepy. Now, we also have this kind of stuff, which you know how I feel about wasting a whole page with very little content, but this is for dramatic impact. I think it works okay there, and they didn't. They started off the book with the credits right on the inside cover, so they kind of made up for it so that they could do that. Here's our protagonist in all of her world-weary glory here. Elle Hawthorne is also known as Bloody Elle, and you'll see why as the issue goes along. Now, here's where it's very interesting. There are creatures from a different dimension, and they seem to be infernal, but the art style is very odd for them. This is an interesting aesthetic choice for infernal creatures brought over. I don't know. Jury is still out with me. It is different. It is innovative. I will give it that very quickly. Now, there are some also breaks in the story itself for info dumps like this. Not everybody's going to like that. It worked for me because I found what they were info dumping to be very fascinating, but you get them a couple times here. So is it a perfect book? No. Is it innovative and different? Yeah. And that's why I picked it. Also because there are parts of it that remind me of work that both Brian Rodman and Eric Hawkins are doing right now, oddly enough. So, Damn Them All, number one, Boom Studios, $3.99 cover price, beautiful cover. I always think that when Boom puts out a book and it's $3.99, you're getting more than your money's worth. And this book is no exception. Written by Simon Spurrier, art by Charlie Adler, colors by Sophie Dodgson with Shane Hanna Tsui, and letters by Jim Campbell. It is suggested for mature readers. While I write for various sites, this is my own independent feature, and it should not be considered representing any views of those sites. If you're in the mood for a London criminal underground occult mystery cocktail, Damn Them All #1 will deliver that. If you want a not quite canon tale of John Constantine's daughter providing clients conjuring clout with a price tag but few moral strings attached, again, look here, especially since writer Simon Spurrier's run on Hellblazer was very brief but embraced by many fans of that character. If you want a street-smart spellweaver cracking wise with extremely unminced words, again, right here, this mini-series, its premiere delivers more than Domino's and DoorDash combined in those elements. Elle Hawthorne, also known as Bloody Elle, comes from a family of sorcerers. In the first issue, we witness her uncle Alfie dissuading 17-year-old Elle from taking up the family business by including her in a summoning ritual for a demon, or at least some creature from the netherworld. Also using the experience to impress on her rules of that business. Magic costs time and effort. Either you make the sacrifices yourself, or you make others pay the toll for you. But that's the Blood of Virgins set, and that is not the kind of magic that old Uncle Alf held with. Also, no matter how good a deal a conjured creature seems to offer, the cost will always be too much. There's usually sacrifice after services are rendered, too, if a practitioner is not careful. Lastly, the infernal things that are called forth and bound using offshoots of the King Solomon bindings and spellcraft are inhuman, sanity-twisting, and just downright scary. Scary as, well, hell. So, Alfie hoped all that might scare off her conjuring path. But a dozen years later, we find Elle working for a London criminal kingpin and acting as his supernatural advisor. That doesn't quite prep her for an attempted hit on her boss using regular gunmen, but also Adromelus, who is from the Goetia writings from the 17th century. That makes him basically an Earl of Hell, who's being manipulated like a weapon and aimed at her boss. And that denies everything that Elle knows about how summoning and bindings work, and about who could do them, how they're accomplished. Somehow, the complex rules have been changed and made accessible to rival crime families. After an encounter with the underworld rival calling demonic shots, and a New Orleans detective way out of her jurisdiction, Elle discovers that the enslaved otherworldly creature may not actually be Andromelus. In fact, it could be as far from an Earl of Hell as East is from the West. The good. Spurrier has done some homework on the Solomonic writings of the 17th century and integrated them into this opener. His script in places reminds me a lot of Brian Rodman's Memoirs of an Angel, and some of the scriptural and theological details that he explores in that series. And the fact that much of this has a basis in history and isn't purely fictionalized magic mojo also reminded me of Eric Hawkins' Hounds of God tale. Spurrier is definitely on a similar mystical note with this series. As character introductions go, this first issue is excellent in getting into Elle's shoes and experience how her mind works. It's also done in a manner that shows more than it tells. And while it's not a full press action outing, it's plotted deftly for building interest with each step that it goes forward. Those revelations, from mystic coins to apologetic demons, link the action scenes nicely and lead to a very strong hook setting by that final panel. Artist Charlie Adler makes unusual aesthetic calls here, especially to me when it comes to the Infernal Interloper. The flow of panels amidst the oddly angular and almost geometric vibrational hell breaches led to some confusion over exactly who was made into a big bloodstain during one action sequence. But Adler and his colorists, both Sophie Dodgson and Shane Hanna Tsui, they do a realistic rendition of urban life in which the supernatural elements take place, They dodge the temptations of making Elle and those around her look like models or movie stars. As artists, they make them very believably real. And in some of the stuff that I have seen more recently from DC involving Constantine, that's not the case. So I liked that freshness. The subway vagrants, the various hoodlums, the crime lords, they all look realistic. And the setting is a grimy factory, smokestacked cityscape as well. And while nothing comes off as ugly necessarily, it's clear that those wishing sunshine and fresh air, they need to move because it's not happening where this is taking place. The bad, as mentioned before, my jury's still out on Addard's rendering of the bound spirit. It's unconventional, and that's never a bad thing, but it may be too far removed from the norm of this kind of a tale to work for some readers. It put me off initially, but I'm warming to it after several rereads. There are a couple of dead stops in the story flow to keep readers current on the magics and the touch of history regarding the mystic foundations of the tale. A couple expositional dialogue sections also run a little long. Such details may fascinate a section of readership, but they will alienate others. And they did not diminish my enjoyment, but I am weird for stuff like that. So the takeaway. Second read through, I was seriously wondering if the skeleton of this book may have been a Hellblazer draft that Spurrier never got to use, and that he reworked and renovated into an all-new original character. Most readers who like Constantine, I think, will find themselves in familiar and likely satisfying territory here. But Damn Them All #1 also stands strongly on its own merits, no matter where they come from. Even if the creator team called up even if the creative team rather called up a Solomonic entity and bound it to their will for making a very cool crime and conjuring mystery. And so, if they did that, I am not immune to the sorcery, because I think that this book earns an 8 out of 10 gold galleons.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool. Highly praised. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was different enough, even though that I had some problems with it. It's different enough. After all the slew of horror things that came during October, I was surprised that it was as different as it was. So, yeah. And I like the fact that it did remind me of some of the things that I enjoy of recent Rodman and Hawkins work. So,
of which only 3 people have read.
I know.
Yeah, well. Details. Yeah, I forgot to mention that
It's a very exclusive book.
Yes.
It's a very elite group. Unfortunately,
It's
Eric and I are two of them.
Not for everyone, not for the unwashed crowd.
That's right. That reminds me, you talk about November books, I forgot to mention Chilling Adventures in Sorcery came out.
Ooh.
The sequel.
Mm-hmm.
To last year's Debacle. One of the worst horror comics I've ever read.
Uh-huh.
This makes up for it.
I'll have
Buy
to go
with confidence.
I'll have to go and get it then, because
Yeah,
I was not going to just take anybody's word for it or a blurb past it.
Yeah, I can't say that I recognize a whole lot of names in here, but the stories in here are, or no, I was looking, no, what was I? I was looking at something else, I think. It wasn't this one, forget this. No, this is the last year's with another cover. Let me go back in here. The Return, there we go. So, hold on a second. And there are some people I recognize, like Seema Grace, Craig Boldman. But this is the cover we're looking for now.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice.
Show that a little closer.
Let's see. Let's do this then.
Ooh.
Hold on a second.
Nice.
Pretty nice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really like the colors. Oh, there's a woman on there too.
Colors are great on this one. Trying to find who the Julius Ota, OHTA, and there's a variant cover from Francesco Francavilla. But yeah, it's takes place in a school, and one of the entranced students is Sabrina Spellman. The stories this time make sense. Have some definite payoffs, and one of the lead stories actually the second story I think surprised me. Had a really great twist ending. I did not see it come in. Thirst Trap okay. It was just a really. You see the Francavilla one, the Francesca one there, Francavilla. But yeah, this one I would give it probably a 9 out of 10. I really did enjoy it. Unlike the one from last year.
Yeah, that's about 8 points higher than that one. Anyway.
Yeah, I believe that one may have taken flight if I remember correctly.
It did with bat wings I made for it. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely pick the new one up. It is worth your money, seriously. So does anybody have anything to talk about?
Not really, but I am kind of done with what I've been working on.
Oh, let's see. Let me give you the screen here, buddy. Wow, nicely done. Holy cow.
That shaped up
you guys
quickly.
Be able to read the actual text.
Nice.
But again, not a lot of people understand the characters in Amazonia as of yet, and the significance. Even what is on the T-shirts have significance.
Right. So they need to pick it up.
Yes, eventually it's going. Those type of things are going to be explained. Like this sketchbook here, the sketchbooks and stuff that I've been drawing in, these are like ideas and stuff just to keep in practice. But I also kind of like do like one page stories that can, eventually appear later on.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Like designs and stuff, like the significance of something like this. That will eventually appear in an actual book talking about characters' relationships with one another and people's past.
Very nice indeed. Well done.
And just to give you the idea, I'm trying to wait to get to that story arc, which is the second story arc talking about Elias's family history and dealing with the whole cultural aspect of the Incas. Now, the one that, like I said, I know some of you guys saw this because it was a lot of detail. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that ever again.
The only time I put in that much detail, in my regular books, I don't. The covers, I'll put in a lot of detail. Pinups, I'll do detail. But inside the books, I fake it as much as I can. Because so much of it gets shrunk down anyway, you're not going to see it.
Yeah. Well, it's like I've said before on this show that a number of mainstream comic book artists figure out, they enter the industry with their style, and then they figure out what the printing process screws up. And then they learn what to take out. Alex Toth is a great example. Where he became, towards the end of his career, a total minimalist.
Yeah, and they learn shortcuts.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that looked great, Joe. Thank you for sharing.
Like this has...
Oh, let's definitely get a look at this.
This one, it might be too gloss. Well, no, okay.
No, it's good.
So there's a lot more detail you'll find in this than in the pages of the book. Well, not a whole lot, but yeah. Splash pages I'll put a lot of detail on, but like all the little frillies in the dress. Yeah, I try to avoid that stuff because it just you will lose a lot of it.
Very cool.
What are you drawing tonight, Eric?
That's what I was going to ask.
Well, I was Zomaful Adventures was going to be the emergency backup if the person didn't make it, because I didn't get on the show. I wanted to let other people do it, and I really wanted to have a Halloween episode where we got Drew Halloween, not my crap. But we are doing Decay by I can't find his name. Where does his name go? Oh, Anthony Stokes. Decay issues 1 through 3 is funding on Kickstarter right now. I think he's got like 11 days to go. He didn't provide us a lot of reference. I have no idea what I'm going to draw. It's about a woman who brings her dead brother back to life after a gang shooting, and he goes on a killing spree. So
some family entertainment.
There is a voodoo doll. Maybe I'll draw that.
There you go.
Well, let me know if you guys get stuck on needing stuff to draw. I got stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, I guess you guys would have a kick out of drawing stuff from primetime Saturday night.
Probably
Yeah,
yes. I would
yeah.
say, especially Armoron. Armoron is he gets disappointed when we don't have buxom babes to draw.
Bucks, I get the whole gambit. It's like you want brawny ones, got them. You want big bubble butt ones, we got them. You want buxom ones, we got them.
See, Armoron would love that.
Skinny flat ones, we got them too.
Yeah,
That's books. That's the whole gambit.
He's an Australian artist, and that's what he primarily does is, cheesecake. A lot of, but he does a lot of not safe for work stuff.
That's what sells.
He's got, I think he does commissions. I'm pretty sure he does commissions. I know he does a lot on deviant art, which really fits his drawing style sometimes. But no, he's a great artist too. Yeah, I mean, he knocks out. I don't know how he does it. So I've tried, and I don't know how to describe this. And there's nobody watching but me on the regular channel now, anyway. So he makes the boobs shine. I mean, if I try to just put a white spot on a boob, it looks like, I don't know, they spilled milk. He makes it look good. I don't know. He hits that contour just right. I'm like, dang. Yeah, all in 2 hours. He knocks a lot of stuff out. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all great artists on that show.
Yeah. Well, we were sending a great artist to them to show them how this stuff needs to be done.
Yeah, Mike started up his show again, and I think they did Black Adam. No, they did Black Adam 2 weeks ago. And last night they did Bass Reeves.
Oh.
Ah,
Bass Reeves is funding on Indiegogo right now.
That's not the one by that the bright. Oh well, screw that.
Well,
book.
he's
Don't give
pub-
him your money, folks. Do not give
He's
him your money.
publishing it,
Mhm.
but he's not. He doesn't. That's all he has to do with it. He's publishing it. There's an artist.
Don't give him your money, people.
There's a writer. That was one of their better books.
Don't give them your money. The
That
man
and Nora
has.
Saga, and this is for the trade paperback. So it's already been completed.
No, it's not, because they left their supporters hanging for 2 years while they chased a Walmart deal, which means that Walmart people got to see the comic you paid for before you did.
That's
So-
okay. Even the one in Walmart wasn't finished.
That's true.
ooh.
Yeah, it did
But
not.
I will say, Bass Reeves was the better story of the books that they did put in Walmart. It was one of the better ones. The art was
But
really
don't give
good
me
in it.
money.
And, I'm not backing it myself, but
Follow Eric. Don't give me money. Anyway, screw him. Anyway, not that I have an opinion on it, but don't give me money. Don't encourage bad business people. Is what I'm saying. So, and thieves, and people who will burn in hell.
people still go out there and back them.
That's like
Well,
80%
they shouldn't give them their money either.
I don't care. They still go out there.
That's almost like 80% of people.
That's true. That's true. Give your money to Eric. He's got 63 hours left on his book, and he needs your money more than they do.
That's
Because
right.
They're
I
terrible
do.
people. They're terrible people.
Because
People
I
don't
need to
want-
print
people
extra
don't want me to
copies
draw.
of this
That's
book
what
to
they
take
do
to
every year.
shows. Because I'm going back to SalukiCon this year. I got my confirmation email yesterday.
Oh, great. Great.
Yay!
Yay! And Eric needs to pay his editor
In book.
in books. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was going to try to get into the Peoria show,
Mhm.
which I probably still could, but I don't know. But now I just want to go to that show, not as a vendor, because I've never met Sergeant Slaughter and I've never met Larry Hammond. They're both going to be there.
I saw
Ooh.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted
Well,
to go
you
and not
better-
as a
you
vendor
better take
either.
You better take some Snake Eyes books.
I got 2 issues of 21 sitting right there.
There you go.
I still have my copy of the Sergeant Slaughter issue.
Mhm.
That'd be perfect.
I should have his figure by the time that comes around. I'll take the action figure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think.
No, of
it's
course,
really-
I ordered this figure direct from Hasbro Pulse. They have not shipped it yet. No indication when it's going to ship. Big Bad Toy Store has already started shipping their orders out.
Oh, great.
And I ordered direct from Hasbro, but yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, don't give Bass Reeves your money. Anyway,
Bass Reeves is dead.
that's why you shouldn't give me your money. Anyway. So, anyway, why don't we wrap this up, guys? And we'll start with Eric, who can give one more push for his his comic book project, and I will flash the link on the screen, so please give generously. You'll be glad you did. I will too.
Well, I'm Eric Hawkins. I'm the creator of Zombie World of Oz, and now the new spin-off, Zombieful Adventures. Set in our side of the world and not Oz, but will eventually merge together with Oz. You'll find the characters from Zombieful Adventures in the Oz book. A couple issues down the road. But this one's a tale of Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn and sexy 70-year-old Becky Thatcher. I'm telling you, they lived good back in the early 1900s. But hey, you see the little gray hair on the temples, right?
Right.
Just because there's snow, just because there's snow on the roof doesn't mean there ain't fire in the furnace.
Correct. So they're Tom and Huck have to go rescue a train of runaway train barreling its way across Missouri, full of dead zombies. Really live zombies. I don't know what you call a zombie.
Animated zombies.
Reanimated creatures. And all my drawn-in pledges have been fulfilled. Or not fulfilled, but backed. One of the people I already know, so I don't need reference pictures from him. I got reference pictures from one of the backers, and the other backer had a great request. He wanted to have his child drawn in there. So that's really cool. And so I'm going to draw them both.
Nice. Very nice.
I told him to send me the reference pictures. It'll be cool. I'm going to feel a little weird about killing off the child, so there might be a child zombie that escapes all the mayhem.
Oh.
Ooh.
Along with two other people that escape. But I can't say who those are. Other than Tom, Huck, and Becky. Which they might not all escape.
Oh, yeah, they're the main characters, so they have to escape.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Joe, did we mention this is a one-shot?
Yeah. Well, no, it's an ongoing series. It's just going to jump from land to land, with Neverland and Wonderland being the next two issues. But hey, we got 63 hours left to go, just shy of $3,000, 105 backers. If you like that kind of stuff, zombies, kind of Western, train heists, go out and back it.
Yeah.
And you can find me at all my links right here on this. I got to work on this.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right. That one. Right there. Ooh, right there.
You'll get it.
That even has a link to the Zombieful Adventures Kickstarter if you go there. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Clyde Hall.
Hey, I'm Clyde Hall, self-described elder statesman of geekery, because I've read about UFOs, astral projection, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full transmedium, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis before it became a resume question on Ghostbusters. Now I'm an independent author, an award-winning audio drama scriptwriter, and a contributing writer at Stormgate Press. Check out the new release from Stormgate Press, Pulp Reality number 4, available right now on Amazon. Stormgate's Pulp Reality series of short story anthologies have been winning Pulp Factory Awards for a couple of years now and blazing new trails into the new pulp genre. Our newest offering continues the tradition. It's available on Amazon, or visit us at stormgatepress.com to see all the goodies available in the new pulp genre. And coming early next year, Stormgate is taking you back to the thrilling days of yesteryear with Spurs and Six Shooters, Tales of the Old West. It's a brand new anthology, and I am proud to have a writing pen in that bullpen. And also proud to be working with Brian Rodman and Brian K. Morris on the upcoming The Mysterious Adventures of Eula McDowell, Volume 1. Tales of one elderly woman's battles against demons and cryptids and monsters and ghosts and sorcerers and ancient, malevolent evil. Trust me when I say evil should forfeit right now. She might go easier on it. When we want to name drop, we talk about the time we met Chuck Norris at a con. When Chuck Norris wants to name drop, he talks about the time that he met Eula McDowell on a ghost tour. That's what Eula's all about. So, when I am not
that's the reason why Eula knows about the third fist in the beard.
See? Yeah.
Exactly.
When I'm not contributing my writing, I also do comic reviews at The Beat and doomrocket.com. And you can follow me at Clyde Hall, or Radiating Positive Vibes with Clyde Hall on Facebook, or on Twitter at CJ Hall 1984. Just be sure to come back next week, next Thursday, when the Rising Tide Broadcast Network celebrates NCBD +1 once again right here at Comic Book Spectrum.
Thank you so much, Clyde. And I'm your host, Brian K. Morris. I can be found on Amazon, Walmart.com, Booksamillion.com, and Smashwords, as well as the Rising Tide Publications page on Facebook. But for one-stop shopping, to see all of my broadcasts and everything that's me, including to be able to sign up for my free monthly newsletter, you go down here to risingtide.pub. And let's see, in my next signing, I actually get most of the month off. I'll be in Wabash, Indiana. I believe it's on November 26th for the very first independent book, Indiana Book Festival up there. And I know Michaela Jade will be up there. I believe Carl Witzman, Donna Carleen, and several other really cool people. Please come join us, and we'll be talking more about that as the month ensues. And I've officially announcing that in January, weather permitting, I will be the guest of honor at ShadowCon in Nashville, Tennessee.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to that. Some of my pals from the pulp community have invited me to come through, and I will be there. So please...
Kid Rock has a restaurant down there I wanted to try.
Ooh, I may have to try it for you then. I'll get back to you on that. So anyway, we want to talk about the people that keep this show going, and one of them, or actually about 20 of them, are my Patreon supporters. Patreon is a monthly, heck yeah, I love these people. We have some good discussions on my twice-weekly blog. Every blog deserves a name. And in the next couple of days, the fifth chapter of Volcana 2 is going to drop on there. And if you want to get a peek at all that, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris and feast your squinties on all the literary goodness we've got there and more. And also, let's see, we are also brought to you by Rising Tide Publications, who is going to be putting out the Terrors real darn soon. Sooner than later, I hope. Anyway, we're falling behind again in production. And also, Clyde mentioned Pulp Reality number 4. These guys did the cover for it, and I think Clyde will vouch that it is drop dead gorgeous.
I showed it to some of my writing friends in the local group here, and they were astonished. They just could not say enough nice things about it.
Well, and also Jeffrey Hayes, who was the genius behind Plasma Fire Graphics, he did the illustration to my story in there.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Talk about climbing the top rung there. And if you want a sample of what Jeffrey Hayes' work is like, it goes something like this.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Definitely check out their Facebook page, then go over to plasmafiregraphics.com and inquire about their independent, creator-friendly rates for all your graphic needs. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And we want to thank you all for watching Comic Book Spectrum. We'll be back next week with more spinner rack goodness. And if you've enjoyed any part of this program, please leave us a thumbs up. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on our next episode. And please tell your friends and share this broadcast if you would. And also, if you've enjoyed this show, go to the Rising Tide, Brian K. Morse-Rising Tide page, and you'll see back issues of this series, and we hope you'll like them. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. We'll see you next week on Comic Book Spectrum. Take care, everyone.